edition 8 G2 Taxidermy podcast. I've never had so many ladies in the studio before, I don't think. All 3.8% of our Spotify women listeners are in here.
3.8%.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you do what you will at that 0.8.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Sam.
Good to see you too.
Looking ravishing.
You are too.
Like always. Thank you,
too.
sir. Thank
I think
you.
the last time we were actually together, we were in Kimberley, South Africa.
That is true.
Drinking shots.
Trying to kill buffalo.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Anyway, it was still a good day.
We lived and had a good time.
It was a good day. You know, I got to tell you, I was behind you guys tracking that thing, and we got into that about 50, 60 yards. Mm-hmm. And I thought, what the fuck am I doing? I went back to truck.
Yeah, I had Jordan film me the whole time, and I was more worried about him getting killed. Well, I should be more about me getting killed, really. But it's like he wasn't watching. He's looking through the camera.
Yeah.
Anyway, we lived. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
There's a lot of ladies in here. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm not used to being around women.
Don't be. They don't bite too bad. So.
We'll see.
Well, I'm happy. I mean, you know, I've got this amazing crew here, and I'm glad they are going to be here, and we get to put this episode out. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, let's round table and meet everybody.
Yeah.
Let our listeners
We'll
meet
start
everyone.
over here with Miss Leah. Go ahead,
Hey,
Leah.
how's it going? I'm back.
What up?
What up?
Leah's like our host. She's here on about all of
I'm
them.
here.
The Lord's wife.
The Lord's wife.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Sorry for that, by the way.
No, I'm used to it now.
Okay. You didn't like it at first.
No.
You did not like that?
No, I thought being called the Lord was really offensive to a lot of people. I'm like, man, that's just like ballsy,
Yeah, but
you know?
have a good sense of humor, you know?
And I did. And well,
Other people, I mean.
lesson learned, if you tell Kurt you don't like something, he's just going to push it. So the Lord has stuck with Austin forever and always.
I think it's a compliment.
And now it's
You
hilarious.
know, after
It's
just
fine.
seeing that video coming out, I understand. Of course, I've been there. I've seen that beautiful house you have. And man, that guy's incredible.
The Lord of Whitetail, that's what he is.
He's incredible.
You're the Lord's
The
wife.
best I know.
He's hard to argue with.
Yeah, the best I know.
I'd love to have somebody argue what he does with me, because I'll tell you you're wrong.
It's crazy.
He's neat.
Moving on down. Moving on down. Sorry, we don't have enough mics. We'll step up our budget next time. You guys come on.
Hello, I am Chelsea,
Chelsea is amazing.
and I do some of the bear work there and help Sam prep up his turkeys for mounting
She's my right hand and my left hand.
and
Love it.
habitat work.
Habitat.
Cool.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, moving on down.
Me, Larissa Eastman, the painter / help everybody.
The painter. The painter.
The finisher.
The finisher. You know, you got to have a finisher. So she does amazing. Amazing.
She's selling herself short a little bit. She does pack mounts, bear rugs.
Bear rugs. She can mount whitetail. You can mount a little bit of everything.
I can do a little bit of everything.
You're learning. You're awesome.
I try.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we got to get everybody warmed up here, and that's my goal here in time after introductions. Moving around the table. I'm looking at you.
Hi, my name's Ashley McLean. I've been with Old Barn Taxidermy for 6 years in the spring, 2025. I started doing some small things for Old Barn when I first started, and then made my way up to doing some finish work with taxidermy, creating bear rugs, and a little bit of everything else. And this year I'm going to be helping a lot in the processing, and I think it's going to be a pretty big year for the deer processing. So
We're hoping. We got our fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's something we got to dive into a little more, too, which we haven't yet. So cool. Well, thanks for being here.
yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Now the bread and butter.
I'm Torrance Settles. I've been with Old Barn for about 5 years now, and I've started from the bottom all the way in the tannery, and I've worked my way all the way up to be the lead whitetail taxidermist.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hustling.
That's why we call her the bread and butter. Because without the whitetail, we don't make a living.
Right.
You know?
Right. That's the most I've ever heard you talk, I think, and all the times I've been at Old Barn. So thanks for being here.
Yeah.
And we'll get into, I think, what everybody does in more detail. I figured a good introduction like that, you know, for the listener, people that are driving or at work that can't see or whatever, they just break out everybody's voices and all that too. So, well, cool. Bunch of ladies in here.
Yeah.
Again, I'm nervous. I'm not actually.
No.
I'm an asshole.
No.
I don't get nervous. That's not true either. But no, thank you guys for being here. Don't be nervous by the mics. I don't think any of you guys are. I think beer and White Claws help. So
Yeah, we started them out right.
we're here to have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Sam, I'll let you front this, brother.
You know,
however you need to.
I'm extremely blessed to have this crew.
Yeah.
You know, as I grew that old barn, you know, I've had a lot of different people come and go. This crew here is just, they're amazing. I decided a long time ago I wanted to, you know, surround myself with great ladies. I think that they have a little bit better attention to detail. Not saying there's some great guys out there is, but this works very well for my business model.
Yeah.
And it's been a wonderful thing. It's been a great journey. Everybody here actually seeked out coming to work for me. I mean,
So you weren't a creep?
yeah, I wasn't a total.
I got to get that out because everyone's going to be like, Sam's a creep.
I am, but I try
aren't we
not to
all,
be.
kind of?
I try not to be. You know what I got to tell myself? You know, when I walk around, you know, because it's like a family. When I walk around, you know, and I'm thinking, God, don't hit one of them on the ass. Don't hit one of them on the ass. You know, that goes through my mind all the time. You know, I got to behave here. Just behave.
Well,
behave.
all right, that might sound sideways for someone, like, but if you worked on a job site with dudes,
Yeah.
you're always doing borderline gay shit
Oh,
and
yeah.
talking shit to each other. It's just like kind of how far can you push it before somebody explodes with anger
yeah.
or whatever. But
Well, you become such like I said, we are probably together more than we are with our own families.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
we spend 8 to 10 hours a day together
Definitely,
every
yeah.
day, you know, and we all get along. I mean, and that's rare to have this many people that all pull the bus in the same direction. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody here has got their own agenda. You know, everybody tries and they all do their own thing. But, you know, you get so comfortable with one another, and you got to remember, especially as a guy,
yeah, it's a
you
real
know,
thing.
don't
Do something you
smack one of
shouldn't
them
do.
on the fucking butt. You know, I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, you know, because
The transparency is so honest. It's like I feel like I have to defend you and how honest you're being because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, all right, when I worked at Deere, if there's a female engineer that comes back, I'm like,
don't
oh, I can't
yeah,
do the same shit.
that you do with your buddy.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's kind of funny now. Like Chelsea, her husband, he's our lead guy out in the tannery. He's our lead shaver. He comes, I grab him on the ass and grab his boobs, do whatever I want, and it's just fun, you know, because it's a gay stupid thing, you know. But
Yeah,
you just
silly.
got to remind yourself as a guy surrounded by ladies to behave.
Right. And now I feel like if we talk about it anymore, the emphasis on it all of a sudden will get weird. But I feel like it's good you say it because it's
Well,
funny.
to make it unweird, I bet you that when women are together and we do that, we're 10 times worse than you guys.
I don't believe that for 2 seconds.
We will share details about
Wieners and stuff?
whatever we want.
Oh, I don't like that. Women are yucky.
We're gross creatures. I'm telling you.
No, I don't-
believe it's worse.
listen.
It'll get worse.
I don't think it gets worse. I think the guy talk dynamic is threefold what you guys could go into.
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we never really will know.
We will.
No.
All right, I'm going to put a poll on Spotify and on this episode. Is guy talk raunchier or girl talk raunchier?
Well,
I honestly think construction workers, they get pretty gross.
just any job site where there's not women.
I don't. I'm from the Midwest.
fair.
I don't know. I mean,
The fun part is we never actually will know. Okay, good comparison. It might have been talking to you. You go into and we'll get to taxidermy shit here, but you go into a men's bathroom at a bar. Grossest thing. Why is everything wet? Why is everything wet? What are we doing? And then I don't know if it was you. You're like, you need to go into a woman's restroom at a bar. And I thought it'd be like there's couches in there, and like it smells pretty good, and like
no.
everything's tidy.
They're fucking disgusting.
I don't get
Really?
that. Is everything
Yeah, they're
wet?
gross. Am I? Come on, you guys are. I'm on my own here. Like
no.
they're disgusting.
It-
It smells
is
like a
pretty
nasty
gross.
red lobster in some of those
you want
bathrooms.
to?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
You better hope that your thigh muscles are in shape because you want to hover.
Hover.
They're that bad?
I think so.
I'd still choose women's over men, though. I mean, you know.
Well, the men's never has a line either, so I'll go in there. I don't care.
I don't care. I think today you can go in anyone you want.
It's definitely less of a problem if a woman goes into a men's bathroom. But if
Yeah.
I start wandering into the female's restroom, everyone's got a problem for some reason.
You'll get
you know?
arrested. We'll just be like, "Excuse me."
Yeah. Yeah. It's fucked up. Well, anyway, that's up for debate. I still think that we own the raunchy talk like threefold.
Okay.
You know, I get the pleasure to kind of listen to these girls. They kind of embarrassed me a little bit yesterday.
All right,
I mean,
elaborate. What do you mean?
Well, I'm not gonna elaborate, but these two, they get into some pretty raunchy conversations.
Oh, because you're overhearing it?
yeah, well, I'm standing right there working,
Oh, I
and
thought
they're
they're
like,
like-
I'm like, oh,
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
no,
Oh, so they're not actively like belittling you. That's what I thought.
no.
Oh, no, we were talking to each other.
She's
Yeah.
the one who starts it. So
Oh, and you were just in the crossfire.
I was right in the middle of it just by accident. You know,
man.
what were we doing? Oh, we were putting detachable horns together,
yeah,
Yeah.
and then they started in on it. I'm like, oh,
Well, man, if you guys
This is interesting.
maybe we're wrong. Maybe it is worse.
I think that they could throw right with us.
Okay, let me process that for a minute.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, they can and we can't.
Yeah, you guys, gender roles are real.
Yeah,
Can't deny that.
yeah,
See?
yeah.
Kamala's gonna win. Fuck.
What do you do? What do you do?
Kidding. Hopefully she doesn't.
Long story short, I'm blessed. I got a wonderful team here.
Well, at least you
know?
don't have. All right, I'm gonna say some shit that might not be appropriate, but at least like you don't have an HR. Like some women on job sites are like, oh, that's an HR nightmare. It sounds like you could probably go to HR at Old Barn before they did.
No, I
Based
behave.
off, yeah.
Don't I behave?
No, I mean you.
About us. You go about.
About
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I behave.
Yeah, that's the roles are
Of course,
reversed.
I'm grandpa age, so I can behave. If I was your age, I might have a harder time behaving.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But I'm old enough where I just grin and think, oh, this is
What
funny.
a dynamic. Okay,
It's
so
crazy good.
because you guys operate well as a taxidermy shop, as a business with all women.
It's a well-oiled machine.
Okay, elaborate on this. And anybody can like what's a daily process at Old Barn with the ladies? Like,
Everybody has their own lane.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own responsibilities. They know what they're doing that week. It's driven out of our office. You know, we have days aging reports. We run this like a big business. I mean, you know, with Old Barn, if you look at every aspects of it, there's 4 different businesses basically in one, and they all have their own little entities. But there's a huge amount of tracking that has to be done. I mean, like in our tannery, in our peak year, we did 15,000, deer skins. Well, you got to know where every one of those are, and they got to get back to the right, appropriate customer,
scary.
So, like, this year, I don't know, Torn, we got like mid 400 deer. I think 468, I heard, or something like that.
450, 460.
Yeah, well, you got to know where 460 horns are, 460 capes are. You know what Kurt wants, what Eric wants. I mean, it's a huge tracking thing. So we have an incredible office. None of those folks are here today, but we have an office that pretty much drives the bus. They tell us, what's up next week, what's going to do, how that's going to happen. Right. And then each lady, whatever lane they're in, they make sure that work is accounted for, because even though we're pretty well organized, but we have 1,000 freezers. I mean, I'm exaggerating there, but there's a lot of places for our product to get to. So they go out and they have to find all of their product and get everything staged for the next week. But it's organized chaos is, I think, the easiest way to say it.
Yeah. So I just feel like seeing women taxidermists is obviously through this series we've had probably more women than men now.
Yeah.
But
Well, you can tell I like women better than I like men.
what's that?
I like women better than I like men. So
Yeah, I mean, we're douchebags in general across the board. So it's like I see enough of them outside this series. It's like I'm gonna hang out with 2 more tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, but I'm really not. But it's like, other than doing this series, I just felt like you didn't see women taxidermists very often, or people involved, or really women involved in hunting, unless it wasn't like for a gimmick to get views for a show.
Right.
Which is not a bad thing. I think it's cool. But
Yeah.
So how did each one of you guys get into the game of taxidermy, starting wherever?
We can start with Leah. Go ahead, Leah.
Well, I mean, I think I've talked about this before, but mostly I knew Sam because of you guys. With Austin being on the podcast and everything, and that's how I got to know Sam and Linda, and I just had one of those moments. I'm 41, so I'm not super young, but I'm not super old, but I want to enjoy the years that I have, kind of deal. And I was a nurse and realized very quickly that wasn't my jam. Had some soul searching, and I'm like, I think I'd be really good at this taxidermy thing. I love art. I've always loved art. And with Austin being in the hunting industry, you know, I hunt, but I wouldn't call myself a hunter.
Yeah.
That would be my way to be involved with what he's doing because he loves it so much. And so I just called Sam one day and was like, hey, you know, you want to show me how to mount a deer? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, how much would you charge me? That's what you
how
said.
much would you charge me for
To
you
learn.
to teach me what you do?
I said, I'll
And
do
he's
you one better than that.
Like a trade school, basically.
yeah, he's like, well, fuck that. Why don't you just come work for me? I was like, shit. Sure, I guess. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Austin was right. He played the long game.
He did play the long game.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
So then we talked, you know, at that point, you know, you got to look at the dynamics of my studio. You know, I've got, you know, this is the lane I need. I need a bird person. You know, that's something that, you know, we've had in the past. They left. You know, I had to farm some of that work out to somebody I believe in. And even when we're farming out work, I still put my name on that. So, you know, I got to use the right guy or gal to make sure that we're getting back the quality that, you know, our firm, you know, wants to give back.
Yeah.
So I told Leah, I said, you know, I don't really have anything for you, but, you know, I really need a bird person. And she said, I'm interested in birds.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was just kind of a nice addition, I guess.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
And I
fitting.
said, and another thing, you know, most of my gals come early and they leave early. They start way before I even get out of bed, most of them, and they leave early. And I said, I really need somebody there that can be there till 4 or 5 o'clock, so you know we can take care of customers. And she feels, you know, she did that last year. She took care of every customer walked in the door.
Yeah, I get a lot of, oh, are you the Lord's wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a win for me.
it is a win.
It's like, I recognized your voice. I'm like, oh, that's weird, but cool. Hi.
Yeah, it's like, all right, yeah. Which there were some comments the first time you did the podcast about your voice. You remember those?
Yeah, I do. Do
you?
Yeah.
I need to go back and find
I
that
do.
out.
Yeah, people were telling me if, you know, all else fails, I should be a sex
Oh,
phone
no.
operator.
It's like,
I'm like,
50
wow,
bucks
really?
every 20 minutes or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Call
Oh, shit.
1-800 the Lord's wife.
The Lord's wife.
Yeah, even Casey was like, fuck. I'm like, I'm not a lesbian. Back off, girl. Sorry.
Could be for the right dollar amount. You get a 30-minute call. What do you want me to do?
Sorry, Casey. Love you.
Fun. Yeah, that's cool. Austin did play the long game.
Yeah.
Good on him. And good for you. That's cool.
Thanks.
I like that you went to school and like to do what you thought you wanted to do.
Yeah, you know, nurses make a lot of money and there's always going to be work. And I'm like,
That's another conversation we said, you know, and I'm candid. I said, what do you make? And she told me, I said, you know, you're going to make about a third of that for me. She says, it ain't about the money. I want to enjoy my life.
Yeah, if I was worried about money, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be a podcaster for a living.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'd have benefits somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's cool. I think it's great. I love that story.
Yeah.
You know?
So then you got Miss Chelsea. Miss Chelsea, her husband has worked for me for how many years has he been there?
4 or 5.
4 or 5, yeah. And he kind of crawled up the ladder in our tannery. He does an amazing job. But Chelsea was also in the health industry. But you were off on what, Fridays, I think?
Yeah.
And she was there every day on Friday, all day, pretty much with him, just dinking around. I think that's kind of how this started, wasn't it?
Yeah, I honestly had no interest in taxidermy at all.
Yeah.
None. And the more I was there and around it, I was like, looks kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So then just kept asking, and Sam was like, all right, let's give it a shot.
Yeah. She said, is there any room for me here? And I said, well, yeah, let's look at this. So,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah. Yeah. And you've been there a couple of years now?
About 2.
About 2, yeah. And she's really taken off. I mean, just doing some amazing stuff. She's my right and my left hand.
Yeah, it's cool.
So, yeah.
So we're on a trend here. We're going from like wanting to help people, like make people feel better, to like dead. And I feel like there's some white women murder mystery shit going on deep seated in
Chelsea and I
here.
had
I
a
don't
joke.
know.
We're like, well, they don't talk back. you
Yeah.
know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys both enjoy romance novels? I just want to see if there's any other trends in here.
No,
Nah, not so much.
no. I'm
Okay.
the typical what you call the murder show.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Murder.
Okay.
books. Yeah.
How long before you start mounting crows for European women with colored hair taxidermy industry?
I'm not too into
No,
that.
I'm not. That's not me.
No.
Just check it was a test you passed. Okay. If you used to be in healthcare and now you're not.
Cosmetologist.
Okay, well
And I didn't.
that makes
feel like
sense,
it. Yeah.
right?
Tell them what you were doing before you come to work for us. You were in Los Angeles, in
Well,
Hollywood.
I was going to.
You a hooker or something?
Home. Yeah.
She came home. She got mad out there. Oh,
Yeah, break it down. How'd
I
you
was
get
going
into
to do
it?
special effects makeup.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I wanted to do movies.
That's cool.
But I was 18. I drove out there with my mom, saw the creepy apartment I was going to live in, and turned around.
No shit.
Yeah. So I didn't do that.
That's pretty cool. Huh?
That is cool.
Yeah.
Being a taxidermist, I think, is cooler.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
cooler.
So you were always into, well, makeup, right? Which is still what you
Just like
do.
the scary stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I like sculpture, clay, painting, which is basically what I do now.
That's cool. So how did you fall into working at Old Barn from that?
So I didn't know what taxidermy was really. I saw TikTok and I thought that was really cool. And at the time, Jay worked with them and I went to high school with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, you still work there? Like, can I work there? How does that work? Can I learn on the job? And he's like, well, sometimes. I'm like, well, can I there?
Mm-hmm.
So then like 2 days later, he's like, yeah, Sam wants to meet with you. So I came in and I did an interview and he's like, all right, yeah. Come in tomorrow. I'll teach you some stuff. So
Yeah. That was kind of a funny story. So she had been texting with Jay, and at the time I was in a transition period. I had just lost one of my taxidermists. Decided I was going to, I'm in the season of my life, I could go one direction or another. Okay, I'm going to slow this thing down. I'm going to take less work, ride my way out. But everybody knows that's not my personality typically.
Yeah.
I'm usually 200 mile an hour, balls to the wall, figured out guy.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in there at night, and I'm doing my own finish work. Now Linda's helping as well. We're putting the little nodules on, and I'm still gun ho. I'm not taking no more people. I'm done training. We're gonna ride this thing out. Well, it's like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm dotting the noses, and Jay's come by and was telling me, and I looked at Linda and I said, I'm gonna bring her in, and Linda said, okay. So I mean, it was a timing thing.
Yeah,
it was just very timing, and then I was to the point where it was a unique time, and I was a little miffed off about hiring people and helping people advance their knowledge, and then they left. I was a little sour right then about doing anything. So I purposely showed her one deer and walked away, because I thought she's either going to be able to do this, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of fucking time with this if it ain't going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I come in the next day, and they were better than I was doing. I thought, oh, fuck. I went up to Lynn, I said, I think we got diamond in the rough here.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't looked back. So she's been an amazing addition to our facility.
I was ready to skin stuff. I wanted to learn all of it.
You told me she
I
did
didn't
it
even
all.
know you painted deer. I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't think most people do.
I had no
Even
idea.
that have deer heads don't think about.
The paint job is the caveat, the cherry on top of the sundae. Right. I mean, you can take anything marginally done, and if you can do really good finish work, you can pull it off.
Yeah, I see.
It's important.
Okay, for the survey standpoint, romance novels.
Kinda.
Okay.
Romantic comedies.
Murder podcasts.
I don't know. I don't like scary movies.
But you're gonna go work on horror film sets.
Well, that's different.
Or was it not?
There's no jump scare.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, just checking for the poll. Just trying to see if there's any correlation between white women that are into taxidermy.
I'm definitely like the artsy side, not so much the dead.
Okay.
Kind of an Etsy girl.
Kinda.
So,
yeah.
European goth taxidermist, yay or nay?
I think it's cool. I like crows.
Yeah.
I like bugs.
I'd say it was uncool. Just taking a survey mentally. And for our listener.
Yeah.
I don't know, dark hair, gauges, tattoos.
Butterflies in a shadow box on the wall.
I dig it.
That is
Not
cool.
gonna lie.
Well, that's science, man. That's cool.
That is, yeah, but still taxidermy. What do they call bug taxidermy? Besides bug taxidermy.
No.
Is there a term for it?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Good thing I have the internet right here.
Bug taxidermy.
That's just like displaying species to me. That's not like
I like the beetles.
making mice wear skirts kind of thing. You know?
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I like that too. Like the squirrels pole dancing.
Bug taxidermy name.
I told you about that bar in Wisconsin. You have to go see it.
Yeah.
You'll like it.
That was just called bug taxidermy. All right.
I have a.
That was
Yeah,
very exciting as we was hoping it was going to be.
When you go on Amazon, you just buy insect pins and you pin it. That's
Yeah, but don't you have to preserve it? Is that
I
like
think it
something?
just dries.
it
doesn't
just
it?
dries and it's in a
I
shadow
think you
box
just
and there
dry
it is.
Yeah. Just don't touch it.
There's no skill involved. You just pin it up and put it
Just
in
a
a
little
Hobby
a little
Lobby
stuff.
frame.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Hell, I could do that.
I'm about to get into white women goth taxidermy.
Yeah, be fun.
I could hang out with goth chicks all day. I bet go to like a goth chick taxidermy convention.
I would go just
They
for
have
the sake
those?
of going.
I'll go.
I'm sure they do.
sign
It
me
sounds pretty sick, actually.
Can we have a booth?
Someone look that up. Yeah, like I'm gonna start a goth chick taxidermy series.
Yeah.
Can I be on it?
Yeah,
There's like 6 of them. We could do 6 shows.
there's more than 6, Sam.
I don't know.
I'm sure.
We'll find
Okay.
them on TikTok.
Maybe 7.
I bet you there's a whole convention full.
It's
of
the
them.
other one, the other women listeners on your podcast.
Well,
Yeah, the other
The
3.8.
96.2%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out there. Okay, moving around the table. How did you get into it?
So it was early,
She bugged the shit out of me. Tell him the truth.
yeah, it was early 2019. There was a friend of mine. I was new to the Fort Madison area, and I had asked a friend of mine if there was any places hiring around the area, and told him I was interested in taxidermy. And his name is Adam Barnes, and he introduced me to Sam. And
After you bugged the shit out of me for a month.
I bugged him about working out there, and he took me under his wing, and I started doing some things out at the shop where I would be shipping hides out on Mondays, doing work up in the rug room, just a lot of odds and end things. And then eventually I started finishing whitetail deer and bears are definitely my favorite out of the both. I like to take a lot of my creativity and just dump in them, and just I feel like I've taken some really odd pieces, that have came in and repaired them and made them look, as good as new.
Yeah.
So
We get a lot of like rework.
Oh, really?
Yeah, these are
For
like
bears specifically.
Yeah, but rugs. I mean,
Is
everybody.
it because most bears are not like the best looking, or
Well, no, Grandpa has a bear rug. He dies.
Gotcha.
The kid has it. So and it's 60 years
yeah,
old.
good for you. You get to take all these old busted
Yeah.
mounts.
She's done some really cool ones.
it's actually very fun to see how they can turn out from start to finish. So I like doing that, and I'm actually coming back to the taxidermy shop full time starting in October, and I'm going to be working predominantly in the deer processing while the deer season is going on, and then after deer season we'll be focusing on some other things. So
Yay.
Awesome.
and
Are you excited about the processing part?
I am.
Yeah.
It's just going to be very busy. I know last year there were several hundred deer taken in, and I'm expecting that it's probably going to be even more this year because word of mouth travels fast, and Old Barn is definitely does a very good job with what they do in all aspects.
Definitely.
So I'm excited, but I also want to say that working with the group of women that I do is very inspiring, and I don't think that you could find a more talented group anywhere else than what these ladies are that are working for Old Barn. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, she's been with us a lot of years. So you were full time for a little bit,
yep, full
and
time.
then she had opportunity to go to work at the Iowa Army Ordnance Plant.
Oh, cool.
So she went to work there for a little bit, and then worked part time for us through that whole thing. And we've been talking for about a year about trying to get you back full time. And then we had this position come open for the meat processing, and so I called Ashley. I said, "Hey, we have this. It's going to be full time. We're going to roll you from there to here. Is that something you're interested in?" And she didn't even look back. She said, "Yes." So she quit her fancy job, and
Awesome.
yeah, it's a fun thing. So
Cool. So you must not be a creep then. If she's coming back.
no, I really try not to be a creep. I do.
He's not scared me off. So
Okay.
If
Good.
anything, if there's anyone I've learned a lot of wisdom from, it's Sam. He's got a lot of life advice about things. So
A lot of it, I'm just full of shit, and I talk.
Yeah, you just listen and nod.
Yeah.
You're doing good, old man.
Yeah. I fucked up a lot of things along the road, so when they ask me, I can say, "Hey, well, don't do that because I fucked that up."
Yeah, I mean that's the best life experience, honestly.
Yeah.
There's value in that.
Went broke, got divorced. I mean, I've had it all.
Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah, and I'm still standing. So,
Right,
what the hell? You'll be fine.
right. Yeah, you'll be fine. Well, that's cool. Well, congrats on coming back and making that work. And
Well, thank you.
Leaving a fancy job.
Yeah.
She had got to wear a uniform, didn't you?
Not unless you put me in one, I guess.
No, you got to wear your last job. She had the cop uniform.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, I've done a lot of things in my life with being 33, but
You want to know
I
a really
really-
cool thing about her? She's from New Windsor.
You're from New Windsor. Did we talk about this before?
Yeah,
did,
Ashley,
yeah.
don't you know Doug? You know Doug.
yep. So actually,
Doug
I
who?
was,
What the fuck are we talking about?
You're Doug.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Doug.
Oh, did we talk about all this? I'm
Yeah.
kind of dumb, so I forget a lot.
So Doug comes out and hunts out at the plant. So
Oh.
I've seen him out there.
Oh yeah, fuck that Doug. I was thinking a different Doug
Yeah.
from this. From,
Doug,
well, from the area.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're Doug.
Oh, but she's from right here.
Okay.
She's a local girl.
Yep. So
Yeah, I
was
knew that. We talked about that, but
just a couple miles away.
little
So this
edit
is
there.
a nice little visit to come back today. So
okay, cool. No, I was thinking when you said New Windsor that somebody Doug from New Windsor because I have a Doug from not New Windsor, but
You know Doug from New Windsor?
there's probably a few I know. So
okay. Well, welcome back to New Windsor, and my bad.
you're fine.
New Windsor's it's a beautiful little town. Okay.
You been to the rodeo here?
Oh, yeah, a few times.
Yeah.
So
You rode your horse here?
I rode my horse here.
Yeah. She's a flag girl at the rodeos.
Hey, I love the rodeo here. I think it's awesome.
It was a nice put together rodeo for as many years as it's been going on. So,
Yeah.
and then don't forget about the depot right across the road. I mean,
The depot.
it's calling my name for some drinks, honestly. So.
I love the depot. Spend a lot of money there. Listen, I want to be the mayor of this town one day.
I bet you are.
I don't want to be the
Eventually.
fucking mayor of this
Yeah.
town.
You buy a couple more buildings, you own the whole fucking town.
Oh yeah.
You really want that? You want people to like complain about the potholes? and
Hell
stuff?
no. Every time a water main break goes off, I got to be down there standing watching guys dig holes. I don't want to do that.
No.
You know, it'd just be cool to say. But
Wouldn't be fun.
yeah, I don't know. New Windsor's a good spot, and buildings here are cheap.
Yeah. So,
She's like, yep.
yeah. Kind of a interesting fact about New Windsor, just outside of town, where I was raised, there used to be a little town called Griffin, and there used to be a great big factory out there where they made bricks and all sorts of other stuff. And if you look it up online, Griffin, Illinois, it used to be a massive plant just outside of town where my family resides right now. So New Windsor has a lot of history behind it, you know,
Yeah.
besides the rodeo and that. And then, of course, you know, the working class bow hunters here now.
Oh, yeah. She just brought it right up to the top. To the top.
I'm impressed with that plug you just did.
Nice.
You're not looking for a job with us, are you? It's like, damn, did you just kiss my ass? I'm feeling I'm honored.
I love it.
I put my lip gloss on before I came in.
Moving on. No, that's awesome though. Congrats on coming back to Old Barn, and it's cool to hear the entry for everybody into the game. And now the shining star,
Yeah.
so proclaimed before we got in the podcast. So who's going to talk the most? Me.
She said 2 words.
Yep.
So when I was about 14, I caught a bass and I brought it into Old Barn. I actually didn't know that Old Barn was a taxidermy, and I drive by there about every single day. And my dad used to actually work for Sam.
Yep.
And so when I brought in my bass, we were talking a little bit, and he offered me a job. And I sat on it for a little bit, and I was like, you know what? And so I went back, and I got a job there. So I started out in the tannery.
When you were 14?
Yeah,
14
when I
years
was
old.
14 years
So it's like
old.
work permit stuff in Iowa, or how's
Say,
it
is
all?
that illegal?
It was just
It
child
was,
labor.
it was legal.
It was legal?
It's legal.
Okay.
I'll tell you the whole story. This is really pretty cool. Her dad and her uncle both worked for me when they were about her age. I mean, I watched them 2 kids grow up.
How old are you, Sam? Jesus.
I'm old.
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm old. I'm old.
You're not that old.
So her dad's like the funnest motherfucker I've ever met in my life. He is full of life and fun, right? So I mean, we had a lot of really great times. But anyhow, he come to me one day and he said, "Hey, I want to go buy this house in West Point." He said, "Will you co-sign the loan for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do that." You know, I loved him, so we went up there and we went to an auction and he bought this house. Well, that house is, and she goes to school in Fort Madison, so that house is just directly up the road from Old Barn, and she's got to drive by Old Barn every day to go to school. So she stops by with her dad with this bass, and I think that's probably the first time I've ever actually met you.
Yeah.
I said, what do you want to be when you grow up, honey? She says, well, I want to be a taxidermist. I said, well, shit, you're in the right place. You know, and we just kind of made that conversation. So I got talking to her dad, and he said, well, in Iowa, when you're 14, you can get a school permit to drive to school. But you got to drive directly from your house directly to school and directly home.
Okay.
But you can stop and go to work as long as it is on that route.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you look back, 20 years before that, when I helped her dad buy that house, it set this whole thing in motion.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, and then I just say it's the way the Lord works. I mean, she was driving by, and she wanted to be. It just worked out perfect.
Yeah, it's meant to be in a way.
Yeah. So she started on the very bottom. Was working in the tannery, oiling hides. Helping doing the.
Did you like doing that?
I did, but once you come into the taxidermy part of it, you kind of enjoy the taxidermy part more than tannery, but it's all fun to learn.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool though. Starting, I don't know if you really want to say from the bottom. But
She started from the very bottom.
Well, you just wanted to get to where you wanted to get, right?
Yeah.
Like the goal is to be mounting deer. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Since you were in there, yeah.
Yeah. So she started down there. She worked a couple years in the tannery, I would say.
Yeah.
And then we always start our people off prepping hides. I mean, it's just a nice entry level. If they can get through prepping a hide, then they can move on up the food chain, because without a well-prepped hide, you get really shitty taxidermy. I mean, it's critical. It's not easy by any reason. I mean, for somebody to get good at it, they have to have some skill sets. But that's always been my entry level. So she started prepping hides for my last whitetail guy. And then she shot this monster fucking deer a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And she wanted to mount it herself. So she literally, was kind of guided by my last whitetail guy. And then, life happens, and, he had left, and I'm sitting there, I'm going to mount him myself now. And that was when I was at that funky time in my life. Like, I can either
intruded.
Yeah, I could either turn this thing up or I can turn it down.
For
And
the record, you didn't laugh, and I'm like, oh, now I feel like a dick.
yeah.
Smile, okay.
Yeah, but I was at that transition. Do I either turn this up or I turn it back down and just do what I want to do? And she raised her hand and said, "Give me a chance." She said, "I want this." And
That's awesome.
Yeah, so then she started doing that, and then I'm in there doing finish work, and then this one calls, and
That was all within like 2 months.
yeah.
Yeah, it
She-
wasn't very long.
So then when she stepped up, I was also like listening, and I would walk in there and I'd watch and
It's
touch
just
and second day and paint and
it's just fun watching the glistening in everybody's eyes as they learn, And we've talked about this in other podcasts. Some people have God-given talent, and some people have skill sets. And skill set can be refined with repetition.
Just effort.
With effort. So, that's what we've been training. We've been training, that skill set. So in a shop our size, they get to handle a lot of animals. And everyone gets better and better and better and better. And we never let bad work go out. I mean, even as I'm teaching, as long as there's the right amount of clay in the ears, the eyes, and the nose is right, I can go in there in 5 minutes and fix whatever problems, with ear sets or eye sets or whatever. Well, these ladies watch me fix all that, and they've watched me and watched me. And the next thing I walk in and I look at it, like, oh, fuck, that's nice. I give them a high five and I walk away.
Yeah.
And today I don't look at what she does. I don't look at what she does. I don't look at what she does till it's out front.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't have to micromanage it. So now that gives me the ability, I've been gone for almost a month.
the whole month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I took a month off. We went to Africa together.
Yeah.
I went to Canada. I went to Kansas. I'm doing this this week.
All these pictures of what Daddy's doing when he's gone. You guys are stuck at the shop.
Yeah.
All right. How much fucking off goes on at the shop when Daddy's gone?
We operate the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
We really
I'm not trying
say
to. I'm
we
not
do.
trying to out you guys or nothing.
No,
Yeah.
we
Just,
The
do.
same
We do.
amount of work gets done. We just might do it a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. It works.
all right.
As long as it's out front and we
Hey, that's all that matters.
and it's all a numbers game to us. We know if we take in just say 438 and we do 10 a week, that's 43 weeks worth of work. So now you got to figure, well, out of 43 weeks, you're probably going to miss 7-8 days for this or that. So now it's it's just a math problem.
Yeah.
Same with our tannery. If you come to our tannery and you start and you look at like what her husband does, he shaves those hides. If he goes out and looks at that trailer, he would vomit because there's that many out there. But when you sit back and do the math, it's all about math.
Right.
There's a lot out there, but you do a lot every week. So, in 13.
You're not guessing and being like, oh, shit, we're behind at the end of the year. Like,
no.
You know exactly what you need to do.
Yes, you got to run it like a well-oiled machine. I tell everybody you keep 2 fingers on the pulse and a foot on the brake and a foot on the accelerator, and you got to know which direction to go.
Right. So Torrin, you're in there mounting deer every day.
Every day. I do a little bit of other big game, but mainly whitetail is what I do every day.
Do you enjoy it? Do you find yourself getting burnt out at all on it, or
No, I love it. They've got it set up to where I'm mainly mounting whitetail, but here and there I'll mount some other stuff like elk, aoudad, mule deer, other stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it kind of spaces it out a little bit so I don't get burnt out.
Yeah, that's cool. So I know when I was in there, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, whatever it was, you have like your full-blown workstation on one side, and then Larissa, you're the whole other side on the finished side. Is that how it's set up? So you'll get like a foreman, and then you just start the mounting process. That's where you get them now?
Yeah, so Linda will actually make up my clipboard for me, so I have what I do every week. And then I'll get it all mounted, and then it'll dry for about a week, and I'll go over to Larissa.
Oh, cool. And then you'll finish it up.
Right.
And then from there, how long does it take before? Because are you the last person to touch each deer head?
Yeah.
Then the customer comes in once the finished work is dry.
Yeah.
Right.
So how long, for people to know, mounting, how long does it take you to mount a deer once you get it?
Well, once I get it, in about an 8-hour day, I had about 2 or 3 a day.
Okay. So then those sit for a week, you said?
Yeah, about a week.
Just for the hide paste to dry, the clay to dry, all that stuff?
Yeah, for everything to dry up.
So there's no like shrinkage and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And then once you paint, how long does it take you to paint a deer?
I can do one in like an hour.
Okay.
So I can do 8 in a day, and then I move them out front.
And then how long do they sit before, like how long do they dry before the client or customer comes in?
That's it.
Same day, same
that's
minute
it.
I finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if I had to sit for another week for everything to dry up right and just make sure.
it's ready to roll.
That's cool. It's an efficient process. It's kind of neat, like the whole thing. Man, I think that's cool. I wanted to be a taxidermist real bad. Like, so when I got I did 2 years of like college, then I went to a game head course, and then just to fill you in, I've told this story before, but I would get laid off in the winter at my job, and then I apprenticed with Moneybags Mark Reif. That's on the podcast a lot. He's a taxidermist, or was a full-time taxidermist. I'm trying to get him on the Old Barn train, some sort of program, because that dude's a murderer when it comes to
He is
podcast.
incredible. Yeah.
He's insane, and he's a cool dude. He's not a lady, so I don't know what we can do about that. We can
Not
talk to
allowed.
him about transitioning.
He's like a Tom. You guys would love him.
He's
Yeah, that'd be right.
he's the fucking man. So, but I didn't know him. I just started apprenticing with him when I would get laid off, and then I just hit it off with him. He became one of my best friends. But I was doing that, and then I started the podcast while I was apprenticing with Mark, and then it just got to the point where this did its thing and whatever. So, but yeah, so I have like this thing where I want to go back to taxidermy one day, but. So I think it's cool. That's why I'm like interested in that process, because I wanted to be a taxidermist since I was.
So Kurt's going to
15.
come to Old Barn someday. He doesn't know this yet. We talked about this on the last one, but he's going to come to Old Barn someday and mount with us.
I say let's do it. We can teach you
So he can
everything.
live
I'm
out his
scared of you
dream.
guys now. It's like we're talking about if I ever shot a bird, we'd go and mount it. But then it's like now I feel like you guys just make fun of me all day.
So that's going to be a future podcast of Kurt mounting a deer.
Yeah,
at Old Barn
exactly.
Taxidermy.
Yeah.
That'd be badass.
I'll bring my mobile recorder and just turn it on, just like
Well,
you just turn me inside out. It's like, hey, pussy over here, do this. I'm just like, stop yelling at me. I just feel like you guys be mean to me.
we let Doug mount some stuff up in Des Moines. He come through,
Yeah, but not really.
he tucked his lips, and it was a good photo op.
Yeah, you barely let him get into it. It was a good photo op, right? It was a PR move. It was a Kamala Harris move.
Yeah, it was a photo op.
Down at the border, tucking lips. I don't know. I think that'd be fun to go in and do like a podcast while butchering, not actively, but like looks butchering a deer, and let you guys fix everything I touch.
Yeah.
It might be more of a
Torrin's good at
hindrance.
that.
Yeah.
90% of it anybody can do. It's just that last 10% that really makes it pop.
Yeah, I think when it comes to that stuff, anything hunting related, you can have a passion for it, but like you have to have like work ethic with your passion.
Oh, 100%.
And your passion has to make you sick to where even if you have work ethic or not, it makes you power through it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that makes any sense, what I just said. In my head, it does.
Well, I hear a lot of the guys, and usually hear it in the one-man shops where they got burnt out, and I can see where
like
one-man shop
Mark
have
got burnt out.
Yeah. But in our shop, everybody, that work is diluted, and I hate it when I hear assembly line, because we don't do assembly line taxidermy. Everybody has their lane to be in. I mean, more than one person touches that product, but you go to any other taxidermist, unless he's skinning it and tanning himself, which some of them do. I mean, other people touch it, just the people that are touching it specialize in what they do that day. And in my mind's eye, it makes it a better product because, they are taking that time on that skill set that they have.
That's like hyper-focused.
Yeah, and I think that works really well for my business model.
Yeah, I think it's a great setup.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to have somebody argue that. I mean, it's efficient. It's working.
Yeah.
And everybody seems stoked to do what they do, from my perspective.
Yep. We have another part-time lady. Her name is Ray Fedler. Ray comes in and mounts some deer. She's actually one of my duck hunting partners. I hunt with her and her husband. We do a lot of waterfowling together. She does an amazing job. She was actually at Des Moines and mounted, I think, your deer up there in Des Moines, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
right.
Floppy, and then, the Big Ten.
The Big Ten,
Because Floppy had that, I'll have to wait for Torrin to come back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good Torrin
She
story.
was really nervous about that
Yeah, I don't know why. So
because it was yours.
that's silly. We'll talk about the whole process because you called me.
Yeah.
We'll wait for her to get back because she's got to hear this whole deal. But yeah, it was cool at the Iowa show, which you guys will be back at the Iowa show this year with bigger space.
Way bigger space. We had 2 booth size last year. This year we're going to have 4.
I love that because it's right across from us.
It's right there.
It's Party Alley.
It is. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. So, Torrin really messed up the brisket on Floppy, and we'll have to talk about that. She might hear us talking on the outside. So, you guys did a good job because we'll go back to Iowa Classic, but now that you're back, now we can talk about this. So, when I shot that deer, he had that whole brisket issue with this infection. And then I don't know if you didn't realize it, did you, Sam? Or what was the story? How did it all break down?
I didn't realize it. Torrin called. Anytime there's any major problems, they get a hold of me. And she called me, or we've got a group chat that we have. It might have even been on a group chat. I don't remember. But she says, I got a problem. I said, what with? She said, Kurt's cape. I said, what? She said, it's missing like most of the brisket. I said, what? She said, it's missing it. I said, no. So she sent pictures, I think.
Yeah,
That's how that happened. So my next thing is I go to my girls and I said, well, look it up in the computer. Did we butcher that deer? Because that means we skinned it. We caped it. And Leah's like, nope, we didn't butcher it. So it's like, well, this is on Kurt. So that's when I called you. I said, dude.
That dumbass.
Dude, what did you do? Because your cape's missing. And then you said, well, that was the one that had the tumor on it. And then, I remembered it on the podcast at that point. But, I forget things. But this little one, she was shitting bricks.
Yeah, I was freaking out. They were like, this. I looked at the name tag and it said Kurt, and I was just freaking out. Out of all people, it was yours, and the brisket was cut short.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Because did you call me?
I did. I was like, what the hell? What are we gonna do with this? Because she had it on the forum. We were test fitting it, I think, right?
Yeah.
She's like, it's not gonna go.
It's not even close.
It's not gonna fit. Fuck. Yeah.
So Austin helped me recover that deer, and when we flipped him over, I knew he had. If people know the story, they know. But he had like a tumor or like a pus ball, and when I had shot him, he had like popped it, and so it was like all loose skin. It was just we're looking at it, and Austin's like, "That's all gonna slip, dude." Like it was just. I didn't even look at it because it just wasn't pleasant,
It
was
Austin's
gross.
fault.
Yeah, I was like, come on, Austin.
So yeah, Austin's fault. He's not here. So I was worried about it anyway, but. And then you guys suggested a full sneak.
Yeah, I knew you hated those. We've had that conversation probably 10 times.
I just hate the one I do have at home mounted by somebody else.
Yeah.
Because I look at it and it's just like stupid.
Yeah.
Because I have all these other pretty upright offsets and all, and then there's that one that's just like chicken necked off the wall. And it's like, it looks out of place.
Yeah.
And then Linda actually got me thinking about the full sneak and send me some examples.
Well, we sculpted one. Steve McCree did for our G2 business.
Yep.
And we got that down, and man, it's just fire. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah,
You guys
it
agree?
is. I love it.
It's honestly, okay, I'll tell you, I was stoked seeing all that and whatever, and it turned out amazing. Honestly, it's one of my favorite mounts now, and now having this one, knowing what they should look like, I'll probably get more like it now.
Yeah. Well, yours, this one out here, she pulled it on a G2 form, and she called me and she said, it's still too short.
Yeah.
So we actually, we switched gears with yours. Joe Meter has his own.
Oh, right. It was a Meter form.
Yeah, he has his own line of deer mannequins as well. He sells them to McKenzie. And Joe has a really, really short brisket. And everybody knows if you got a cape with a short brisket, you go to a Meter form. So now I like the looks of our head. I mean, it's just our signature. So Torn literally took the Joe Meter's form, cut the stock head off, and replaced it with one of our heads.
Yeah.
And again, that we can do any customization like that. I mean, it's just foam.
Yeah.
So, but it was turned out really great. And then even on Joe's form, it didn't come all the way to the bottom. I mean, it was still a couple inches from making it.
Yeah.
So then Larissa did her magic. Larissa does some amazing, I call it artwork, but it's like fake wood, foxwood type stuff. And we've got a product that she's been developing that I think we're going to have available through G2. Here shortly, she's building some press molds and stuff that we're going to sell. So
Cool.
but she did that on the bottom there, and you can't even.
Sam.
I'm on.
Damn.
You got to drink, chug your drink.
I know, but I'm on airplane mode. Look at that.
Bullshit.
Yeah, look at it. It's right there.
Bullshit. It wouldn't rang if you're on airplane mode. Let's see. Come on,
I am.
Daddy.
I swear to God.
Let's see it. You're in trouble now.
Look, I haven't touched it. Look, there's airplane mode there.
The fuck you got going on? That's an alarm. What do you got alarms for? You got 27 missed calls. What the hell's going on?
I don't know.
Sam, chug your drink.
I ain't gonna have a whole lot left. I will.
He's spilling.
That's
it.
enough.
I was really hoping to see somebody else this
I'm old.
Sam just got yelled at in live action.
I'm even on silent. I don't know.
Well, you got your alarm.
It's yeah, I tell you what it is. It's that fucking Ouija board in the bathroom.
Yeah, bullshit. It's quarter after 1. Time to get it from your nap.
It's that fucking Ouija board in the bathroom. I told you that thing scared the shit out of me. It haunted my fucking phone.
Yeah, the ghosts are calling you.
It is. It is.
Sorry, Sam. I had to give you a hard time.
No, it's good.
But
It's good.
floppy looks great. Looks amazing. No one has noticed that brisket now. Now every guest that comes in will say something about it.
Yeah.
But
But it's classy. It's nice.
I think it looks sweet.
Did you see it? Did you look at it?
Yeah, I was going through all the deer and seeing which ones I mounted and everything, and I went over to Floppy, and I knew it was there, obviously, but it's really hard to see unless you know it's there. You
Yeah.
really got to look for it.
He's hanging in a good spot, and like the lighting in here is like specific, you know, so it's not like he's not underlit by any means. But even then, I think it's cool because it tells the story of like, you know, it's a
It's a story.
Yeah, it's a story. It's just like, oh, that's what happened.
Yeah, it's a memory.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what we're doing. We're preserving memories,
Yeah,
you know? And it's nice. We like to be part of the memory.
for sure.
You know, we
yeah,
love, you know,
guys are a
and-
major
and-
part of the
Yeah, and we have a huge clientele, and we love them all. I mean, we have some great clients. We don't even have anybody we want to fire. I don't think.
Yeah,
You know,
not
we've
yet.
had a couple in the past that are pain in the asses, and
oh, of course.
even those guys we deal with. But
Oh, hey,
you know.
one more quick shout out. The ear on Floppy. You guys mount him with his ear flop down. Was that a pain in the ass?
Actually, it was like, I won't lie, it was one of the first tries, and I waited for Sam to get in there because I was freaking out. And I was like,
You got to
"Sam."
relax.
I was like, Sam, come look at this, and he didn't even touch it. He said it looks
no,
amazing.
she did perfect.
Yeah, it looks
First
great.
try.
She did another one this week that,
Yeah, I did.
and she texts. She says, "You need to look at this before it dries," you know, and I love that about these ladies. If there's any issues at all, I get an immediate response, and you come look at this.
Yeah, it's communicated.
Yeah, you know, and that's the biggest thing. You know, in as many years as I've done this, I've got an eye. I know what I'm looking at. You know, I've studied so much of it. That was the hardest thing for me to train new people. But these girls have got the eye now. They can look at it and say, "Oh, that's fucked up."
Yeah.
You know, we have a piece right now that I just didn't like the eye set on, and we talked about rehydrating it. And they said, yeah, you know, I wondered if he was going to say something. You know, they're understanding, and that means a load to me because now I can go out and spend this last few years and I can get around and have fun,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And still have great work leaving there,
For sure.
It's pretty cool. It's cool. It's a good team.
I think it's real cool. I think it's cool to see everybody's got their lane and what they're into. And I think it's cool you started so young.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Because I don't think, how many people start working at a taxidermy shop when they're 14? Especially, and then a female that starts working at 14 in a taxidermy shop.
Yeah.
And it didn't break her,
Yeah, I know. I won't lie. I was never seeing myself in this place where I am right now, but I honestly love it, and I'm ready to learn more.
See, that's awesome. What did you think you'd do if you weren't a taxidermist? Like, what did you want to do?
Honestly, I thought psychology would be where I was going to be.
Yeah.
So it's a complete different spot than where I thought I'd be at.
Yeah, that's cool. So did you go to college at all?
No.
See, that's even cooler.
When I was
ABC's a Sam.
I fucking love it, dude. I think it's cool when people don't go to college.
Fuck college.
Yeah.
That's a waste of money.
It's a waste of time now. It depends what you want to do. If you're going to be a doctor, go to college, please. But
Please.
But I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Because like some of my favorite stories are when I have a buddy that was a high school dropout and is like just a killer in his own lane. Yeah. Because I don't know, man. I've always been like I don't want to say anti-establishment because that's not really true. But like I fucking hated school, and I hated most of my teachers, and I hated my basketball coaches, and I hated anybody that told you what to do all the time.
That sounds like you.
Yeah, I would be in high school, and they had a class called work-based learning, so there were certain periods where I could be at work, and I was at work a lot more than I should have been. But that's where
awesome.
I thought I should be, so that's where I was.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's awesome.
Torrin's mom's a school teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Torrin's mom.
Yeah.
I tell Torrin all the time. I'm like, she's young, and not a lot of people get started as early as she does, and she does the most incredible work. And the deer that I've mounted, I've done with her because I'm like, you got to babysit me because I need your help. you know?
Yeah, that's how I'd be.
So she, just as young as she is, I guarantee you're gonna hear Torrin settles in the game for sure.
Well, it's a good
she's going
name too
places.
to be heard. Also, like it's just like got a catchy thing. But for real though, like if you're that into it and you've been that into it since your age and you keep doing it, people have to know you.
Yeah.
If you're killing it and you're so passionate, people have to know you. That's a good attitude, I think, too, with a lot, especially in the hunting world. Everybody wants in. Everybody wants in the hunting space. Everybody nowadays wants a podcast. They want a fucking TV show. They want to be an Instagram influencer. They want to do. Everybody wants in the space.
Yeah.
And the only people that get in the space are people that are willing to work harder than everybody else in the space and stay in it longer.
Yeah.
So that's just the fact of it. So
that's like our business. We have a tremendous customer base, but every year right now I'm nervous that we're going to take enough work.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
I think that's just being a business owner.
Yeah. And marketing is so huge. We've done good marketing.
Mm-hmm.
We've probably done better than most, I think.
I don't see many taxidermists doing any marketing.
No.
I've noticed.
No, a few Facebook guys, but that's about it.
Facebook's not marketing.
No.
Like I look at it to give you guys flowers on this. Like there's a lot of people in the industry that are like, yeah, I'm in the industry. And then you're like, oh, what do you do? Oh, you have an Instagram account?
Yeah.
So does everybody else. Like you're not, what do you do? Like, what do you, you have an Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's like you can be a taxidermist, have a Facebook account, but you're not. That's online. Social marketing's a thing, right? But it's so. I just haven't seen anything that's like really shocked me, outside of like what Old Barn does. I know there's some. What's the really big taxidermist in Pennsylvania? Canati.
They do an amazing job.
They do a great job. I see them.
And Wildlife Gallery does amazing.
Yeah, but that's like the two I know.
Yeah. Brush Country down in Texas, they do a good job.
See, and I'm not talking shit about anybody. I'm not a taxidermist, so what I see is just what I see.
Yeah.
And I know Wildlife Gallery. I know Canati.
Yeah.
I don't know Brush Country. I'm sure maybe if I saw it, I might be like, oh, I recognize that. But
yeah. Well, there's so many different ways you could go to the shows. There's a lot of big like SCI shows and stuff. You could chase that 1% money. We don't do that. We've put our marketing efforts into, the podcast and some influencers, and then, you know,
people direct to your area.
Yeah. We do a lot.
That's probably why I don't see some of the other, because they're doing like localized marketing,
Yeah.
which makes total sense, you know. But
we're really good on Facebook. Not so good on Instagram, I don't think. That's never been my jam.
yeah,
But I'm the only marketer that I have, so I'm trying to get these guys pumped up. They're starting to do a lot of TikToks, which is taking off.
I think the TikTok thing's super smart. What's that, Ashley
Eve.
Ashley Eve.
She jumped in one of our lives the other day, and I was like, "Oh, you got to come do the series."
Yeah.
Because I see she does like a lot of the, I don't know. To me, it's like educational, but like time lapse stuff. I think it's cool.
And they have their own podcast. Her and who's
sure.
yeah.
Oh, she does.
Yeah, they're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
It's the only
Oh, well,
other
then fuck her
taxidermy
then.
podcast.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's the only other
joke.
Yeah, it's the only other taxidermy podcast I know of.
Oh,
that are
really?
doing it consistently.
Oh, that'd
yeah.
be even cooler then.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I know I don't know where she's from or anything like that, but it looks like she does.
Where's she?
I want to say Texas, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
I
either.
don't know. Emily was talking about her yesterday too, and
Yeah.
she said, I don't remember what she said.
We're TikTok friends.
Yeah,
Yeah, she does good work, don't she?
she does good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of great artists out there, but there's a lot of work that gets done. I mean, if you look at the taxidermy business in whole, I mean,
Holy smoke, she's got 1.6 million followers on TikTok.
really,
It doesn't say where she's from on here, but I'm sure. Yeah, her stuff murders. But yeah, I think like surprisingly, TikTok is a place for taxidermists to like get their name out, like being the most unfriendly.
yeah.
Like you post anything, weapons or
Larissa's getting beat up bad.
I am.
you are by the
Yeah.
by
A lot of
Europeans.
stuff's taken down.
Yeah,
Oh, like I just can't post my stuff.
yeah.
Really?
And it's
Yeah,
nothing
for
nasty.
anim-
It's
No,
all.
it's not.
It's
Maybe
all.
label it all as art or
Call
heavy.
it animal cruelty.
Oh, I want to start
that.
saying, just like you ever see like a brutal video on Instagram or whatever it is, and then the description's like the Tesla, whatever, like the description
yeah,
has something
yeah.
to do with the video. You might start doing that,
Yeah, maybe.
or just be like artificial, fake works
Right.
of art, or like, you know what I mean?
No animals were harmed in this video.
Some of those
Yeah.
TikTok videos take off and do really well.
I'd hit Ashley up then how she does her videos because hers are like
I don't know.
crazy.
The same. Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know she had a podcast.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what it's called. You? I only listened to one of them. I think
look.
I just listened for a little bit.
Find out.
Typically, if Kurt Geyer is not on it, I don't listen to it. No,
Stop it.
I've got a couple people I listen to.
It's not on her link tree.
Well, she has one.
Emily listened to it. I'll ask her what it is.
Yeah.
My taxidermy website. Let me see. See, it's cool. Like another like good female taxidermist.
Yeah. There's a lot of great females out there. Great. There's a lot of great
She's
guys.
in Oklahoma.
I know she does like a lot of unboxing videos and just crazy fun stuff like that.
You guys, have you guys sent her some G2 stuff?
No, I need to do that.
I don't see her taxidermist
For
on
sure.
here unless I'm
We
missing
sent
it.
her like
Or her
a book.
podcast.
I actually did a really cool one of the meat processing just last week. Is that getting any traction?
So with my original TikTok I had, I ended up losing it. Something happened to my phone and I lost it. So I made a new one, and I keep a lot of my stuff private. But I think that with being back, in the taxidermy stuff and meat processing, I'm probably going to open it up and start sharing a lot more things.
Yeah.
I've noticed that, just being part-time, working for Old Barn, that a lot of people reach out to me with questions they have, about their meat or what something may cost, to be mounted or blah, 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 this or that. So I think that, sharing the TikToks and the videos, attracts more attention to, and,
It's all just great marketing.
Yeah, it's all good.
Anytime you
Because
get
TikTok, you can still get a reach if you can get around the Chinese trying to like cut.
TikTok might go away here in a little bit.
So I don't know. Maybe I've been trying to do some TikTok lives. I did one for the first time.
That
last
was fun
week,
as shit.
and there was like a lot of people on it. Well, then I got on the other ones and I said some words I shouldn't have said, and then I got flagged. And then they,
No day.
yeah, but there's a couple guys on there always like, you can't say this, don't do that. And I'm like, the Chinese, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then so they're like, here's some tips to not get banned.
Yeah. You're trying to really do not get banned.
No, all right, like maybe not really. I mean, kind of, right?
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
are.
trying to be a little better with my language.
That happens.
I'm trying to be less offensive.
Yeah. That's not you.
But all I am is who I am.
Just be offensive.
I'm just trying not to say the F word. And I don't mean...
Is that why got you kicked off TikTok?
No. Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe that's why. But I said a couple other things I shouldn't have said.
Is it building up inside of you right now?
No. I was going to say it. I'm a good boy.
That was, I love TikTok. And I was sitting there and I pulled you up. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to enjoy it. That was nice. It was fun.
Thanks.
It was fun.
When we were in Georgia.
Yeah.
The one before, so that was our second one. And then people were like, let me in. I guess you can let people in.
Yeah.
But you have to go live 3 times.
Do you have TikTok, Chelsea?
No.
I don't either. I don't know what.
I'm lost.
It's not my thing.
TikTok's fun.
It's awful, but you can get a reach easy on TikTok.
Yeah.
But I think now we're kind of like suppressed after the last couple of lives. So if you do 3 lives, I guess you can have other people join so you can chat with them.
Oh.
And so I was just trying to get 3 in, and then we got flagged, and then it said something like our live was blocked or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's blocked forever.
I get my most views off of the Facebook Reels.
Yeah, Instagram Reels for us is number 1.
I had one go 1.3 million, which was huge for me. I mean, usually they're a couple hundred thousand, not a couple hundred, but a couple thousand.
Well, what's cool is okay, I posted a video of me shooting that jackal in Africa with my bow on Facebook. It got 1.1 million views. Mm-hmm. I can't post it on TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean, I did. I just flashed out the shot.
Blurred out, yeah.
Yeah. And then I got all these European feminine men commenting how you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Trying to give me facts on hunting.
Yeah.
It's always just gay dudes from Europe. It's if you're a European woman, you want a masculine man, it must be tough. I'm sure they're there, right? They have to be there.
Come to the U.S.
It's what do you do? Yeah, it's what do you do? Whatever.
It's crazy. Crazy.
Well, TikTok, all the kids are on it. I think lady taxidermists on TikToks might be the lane.
It's huge. It's huge. Huge. I don't know what kind of business drives into their bus, but I'm sure it drives some.
Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me, dog.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
These guys.
All right.
I was doing this deal the other day. I was sitting in a saddle on this turkey, and I think we talked about it on one of our other podcasts, but they're all standing there watching me. Not one of them got their damn phone out. And those are the ones that go 1.2, 1.3 million. People love that, setting feathers on turkeys.
It's just cool.
It's just crazy,
It's it's a whole other beast. Yeah. Social media is the devil, but it's such a good thing.
It is. It's good.
The podcast wouldn't be as popular as it is without it.
Yeah.
So we have to have it.
We've had a decent social media run, I feel. I mean.
Well, yeah. I mean, considering, especially when you compare to your industry.
Yeah.
I bet you I could find. Well, hell, last podcast we did that round table a few ago. We were looking up just taxidermists. What did we always say? What taxidermists were we always using as an example?
Fred's taxidermy.
Fred's taxidermy.
That poor fucking Fred's taxidermy, wherever it is. But it's
Yeah.
When we get on his Fred's taxidermy page, it's inactive. Basically, it's man, Fred doesn't care about the social.
Fred don't care.
Fred don't care.
Fred's probably overworked and stressed and
overworked and underpaid.
Yeah.
Wife's a bitch.
Yeah. I just had one of my buddies call me just a little bit ago, and I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm not taking anything this fall." It's 25. He says. He said, "I just got to get caught up, And
I respect it.
Them one man shows. That's tough.
We need to get Mark Rife in the lioness den here.
Yeah.
With all the ladies and.
Yeah.
Mark Rife needs to be back doing deer heads.
He does. Mm-hmm. We need this building next to your other building. Mm-hmm. And that'd be our Illinois Old Barn.
Mark is a bird guy, too. He
Is he?
loves birds.
Yeah.
I got bird.
Listen.
I got bird girls.
Listen,
right
we can get that building, but I got to pull some strings in New Windsor to get that to happen. But
right.
That would be sweet.
Would.
You wouldn't have to worry about it if you were the mayor.
That is true.
It came full circle and bit me. Yeah. It helps. The actual mayor does listen, and he is trying to pull strings for us over there, but it's a zoning issue.
Oh.
So they're supposed to condemn them and demolish them, and then we were going to buy the lots. Well, the zones or the property lines overlap, and the county won't let anything happen with it until that gets straightened out.
When it gets straightened out, let me know. I mean, I consider it. I think we should have an Old Barn here in New Windsor.
I think it'd be sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You need one on the Illinois side, and it's right off the interstate.
For sure. It kind of fits with the business model that we've all talked about. Expanding that direction.
I'll find a bunch of goth chicks that'll work there.
In New Windsor.
Yeah. So,
Kurt, I want to back up a second and talk about
Yeah.
like the social media stuff. So
for sure.
as far as like a lot of social media stuff you see on Facebook and whatnot, it seems like there's a lot of attention that's attracted to, you know, females in taxidermy or hunting that are an image of themselves. You know, maybe they're representing themselves like with, you know, no clothes on or, you know,
You
things
talk
like
about-
that.
I know
you
what you're saying, yeah.
So
Yep,
I think
following
there's
you.
a lot of that that attracts social media. But one thing that's really good about Old Barn is that that's not something that happens with our team. Our team gets the attraction from the work that they do.
I feel like it's a really good point.
I think
I'm glad
so,
you said that. Yeah.
So, and that's something
They're all hot chicks, but we're just focusing on the deer head.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point too, because I know what you're saying, you know, for sure. But it's like, I agree with that, because even though I'm a dude, a straight man for the record, even though I might be questionable from episode to episode, I'm kidding about that also. But it's like, I like that stuff, but I don't necessarily like it in hunting all the time. You know, it's like, all right, it's cool to look at Tiffany Lukoski. She's cute, but whatever. But I don't need to see it and all that. I like my tits and hunting separate, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
That's just honest, right? It's like, first of all, typically the chicks with their tits out don't have great advice. And I don't need to see you on a hunting show because there's nothing I can take from it.
Yeah. We're just pure talent here. We don't have to be posers and wear camo bikinis and try too hard. We just do what we do and we go home.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I think everybody else does too. Well, it's like, you're not going to a taxidermist just because you think they're hot.
No.
You know?
It doesn't drive any of the business. I mean,
Yeah, nobody cares.
nobody cares. You know, they just want nice work back.
TikTok might care, but they're not bringing you deer.
No.
on TikTok.
No.
That's the case.
It's just fun when you get a lot of views.
It's a good point. Yeah, you guys gonna start whipping some tits out. Kidding.
Maybe.
No, I'm kidding. For real. I would. That would actually be a bummer.
Yeah.
It really would be.
Don't
It would
ruin
be.
it.
Yeah.
It would be. Because I think it's cool at Pure Talent. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
For Old Barn.
Oh, it is
I
cool.
like it.
I like it lots too. I like it lots too.
Well, I mean, because you guys are in it for, you know, you're passionate about taxidermy,
Everybody here
the
is.
place, you know, so it's not like you guys have some hidden agenda to get TikTok famous or like whatever. So
No.
Right.
And everybody holds everybody else accountable. So, I mean, you know, we can go in and say, hey, we don't like that. And nobody gets butthurt. We just fix it.
yeah,
Fix it and go about our way, you know?
I think it's great.
Yeah. It's a good place. It's a fun place.
I think it's great. I think it's cool to see. I'm glad you guys all came in here and did a podcast with us. We've been talking about doing this one, well, really
Few
since
years.
before the series. Yeah, for a few years.
Yeah.
Hope you guys come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Scary.
Hey, also relax, right?
Yeah,
if I
just a
can,
little bit.
if I have a cape that has no brisket on it, just call me and be like, "What the fuck did you do to your cape?"
But you gotta make everything look pretty for your customers, so you
Okay.
gotta freak out a little bit.
Okay, I respect that. You got to have some freak out.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
We want every piece to be a home run.
Yeah, no, you guys kill it.
That's the,
You guys kill
that's the key.
Pretty much, we're turning into a separate showroom for you guys.
You have.
We have to filter out some of them, you know, that we've had before Old Barn.
Yeah,
but
but even you can show the difference.
you see your Old Barn sign hanging on the other side?
I did. That's fucking incredible.
Looks good up there.
Yeah.
Turkey walls coming together. Mama's turkey looks great. So
Was that not great?
looks awesome.
That's a lot of Chelsea. She set the tail fan on that one.
Looks good.
She's my right hand when it comes to turkeys. It won't be long. She'll be mounting them. So
And then
right
you're
now
gonna-
she's 3/4 mounts them now.
Then
But
be
I
on
gotta have
vacation
something to do.
somewhere. Yeah, you'll be on vacation,
Yeah.
taking a nap. We just exposed Sam on his nap alarm. Was that what that was? Be
I don't
honest.
know what the fuck it was. I'm not shitting you. I am on airplane mode. You know,
It's your
it's,
alarm.
it's that fucking Ouija board. I'm telling you.
Linda probably put a alarm on your phone to take a pill or something. Sam.
Probably.
Take a pill.
Probably. It's a sad deal, but it's true.
A sad deal. We'll get to the bottom of it when we get out of the studio. Well, cool. Does anybody want to close with anything? We're doing good on time. So
I don't know. I think I just want to reiterate the fact that, yeah, we're all women. A lot of people think that is just a recipe for drama. And I would say the opposite. I think we work really, really well together.
We do.
We're the most honest people to each other, especially Chelsea and I. She'll be like, dude, what's this look like? Dude, looks like shit. You know, you got to fix that. And we can talk to each other like that. And that's why we create such beautiful pieces.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be that way.
It's fun. It's fun. We took them, everybody come up to the World Show this year. And so they got their first experience of getting to see a taxidermy show. And I think that was inspiring for everybody to see that quality of work that goes out of there. And, you know, what I tell everybody, you just don't pay attention to your competitor. Don't pay attention to the internet. You just work on being a better taxidermist every day. Just be better, you know, and be focused. And everybody I got is focused. They all want to be better.
Cool.
So it's just a recipe for success.
It is. Yeah.
You know,
love it. Anybody else want to close out with anything? Free open range table? Sure.
I'm sure.
Okay.
She has something she wants to say. She just.
I know the look. I was like, you want? All right, now this is the part. We're not recording. Do you want to talk shit about anybody real quick off your chest? I'm just kidding.
We always do.
Hey,
I'm kidding.
Give somebody a hug. Tell me you love them. One hug at a time will make this a better world to live in. God
Thanks
bless
for listening. Peace.